Hello and welcome to the first episode of Cut Through TV. My name's Dan Hasler from Cut Through Coaching, and joining me is my erstwhile colleague, Mr. Tim Perkins. How are we, Perko?
Very well, Daniel, and yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Getting a bit twitchy.
What does erstwhile mean?
No idea, mate. I just like the sound of it. I reckon you are erstwhile.
Erstwhile, all right.
Yeah, I reckon you are.
We'll look that one up later.
Indeed. Yeah, getting a bit twitchy. You know, locked up.
We've been in here for a few days now, and already it's a little... There's a lot of caffeine going on.
There's a lot of caffeine, a lot of thinking, a lot of talking.
Productivity.
Well, I would say it's a lot of creativity.
A lot of creativity.
Yeah. In fact, very creative. New logo there. If you can let us know what you think of that, let us know in the comments below. If you think it's rubbish, maybe you could send us a new one.
Maybe you could keep it to yourself.
Well, keep it to yourself. Or maybe set up a little art project at home with your kids, and we'll put the best one. There we go, off the cuff. We're going to run a competition.
Yeah, keep learning.
Keep learning. Well, that's what we're talking about today. Run a competition, best one. If it's better than ours, we'll whack it up.
Beautiful. We might even pay you if it's better than ours.
We definitely won't pay you. No one's paying anyone at the moment. So no.
Maybe we could pay you in toilet paper.
It's
a possibility, I suppose.
It is. So, 5 Ways to Wellbeing. It's a series that we're doing, 5 ways in 5 days. We're going to be sharing little videos, some resources, some ideas around the concept of the 5 Ways to Wellbeing here. And so the first way, as we can see, we've got all 5 on the board, but the one we're going to talk about today is the notion of keep learning. Okay, what do you got for me?
So keep learning is kind of perfect for this moment in time. You know, this is the idea that we can be autodidacts. You know, that idea of teaching ourselves.
Hang on, you don't know what erstwhile means. What the heck's autodidact?
Self-taught.
Okay, thank you.
I'm only going to use words that I actually know the meaning of. Well, I shouldn't make that claim because I might not.
Well, we can be autodidacts.
Autodidacts.
Right.
We can teach ourselves stuff, and you know the way the net's set up, it's perfect for us in these. This is a huge challenge this time. What we're going through at the moment, and as we know, we do a lot of work with sport, and a lot of them are closing down. Schools, a lot of them potentially going to close down in the near future. But that doesn't mean that the learning needs to stop. And this idea, the important part of this, and the reason that the New Economic Forum put this together, or Foundation, I think, put this together as the 5, as we said in the intro before, is that these are the 5 things that people with strong sense of well-being have in common. And that idea that we can feel better about ourselves and as a result of trying to teach ourselves new things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering, there's a whole host of ways that can do that. I'm thinking, like, what lies ahead in the next few weeks and months. Maybe you're going to have to, as a parent, perhaps teach yourself how to help your kids with, for example, some schoolwork, or you might have to...
How to use Zoom, for example.
Yeah, you might be having flashbacks to your own childhood where you're freaking out about certain things, and I guess it's an opportunity to, get back in and jump into that, knowing that, one, it might help your kids, but interestingly, it's also going to help yourself if you build up that confidence. I guess leaving traditional learning aside, we can also think about the amount of people I meet who go, I wish I could play guitar, or I wish I could speak another language, or I wish I could draw, I wish I could write. There's so many things that we might find we actually have some time for now. We were talking before, you suggested people who are normally stuck in Sydney traffic, all of a sudden they're going to find another 2 or 3 hours a day, mate. Maybe depending where you live. Some time there.
And picking up something as well. So the idea of starting something new. I've always wanted to play the guitar, for example. Maybe this is a good time. But also maybe if you've played the guitar as a younger person, you got dust on the guitar, as the song says. Might be time to pick it up again, or other things as well. Like I think cooking. I think this time in history...
There's Nout on the shelves, mate. What are you going to cook?
there's Nout on the shelves. But that idea of, I think going back to basics, there will be a fair movement towards that as well.
Yeah, and doing things together as a family unit, perhaps.
Totally.
I mean, I can see, I'm really actually, in some way, really looking forward to it. My son's, I'll probably talk about this in another episode, but my son's just decided that he's going to join the band. The interesting part about that is that he's only been playing the guitar for a week, but he's already joined the band. So I can see, as a somewhat novice guitar player myself, learning some guitar with my boy, which I think is going to be I hope, an enjoyable experience. But you know, but thinking about, you know, so we'll be using YouTube, right? We'll be just jumping on there.
Yeah.
How do we play X, Y, Z? But there's other platforms which are quite interesting. This one in particular, Coursera. I mean, if you look at the screen, there's a Coursera. I'm sure some of you have heard of this, and we're going to put a link. We're going to put a few different resources down below the video that you can have a look at. But this is an example of a platform called Coursera. There's loads of variations on Coursera out there. There's Masterclass, Udemy, edX, there's loads. But what a platform like Coursera does is, as you can see, it's supported and they collaborate with lots of different organizations, universities, businesses, and essentially they put on these online programs, these courses which can take a couple of hours, a couple of days, a couple of weeks, 6 weeks, and depending on the kind of course you go for, you can actually earn credits towards proper
a degree course,
degrees or different kinds of qualifications. And the beauty of this is there's literally anything you can think of, you know, like how to write a book, poetry, painting, photography, you know, quantum physics, right? You think of something and you'll find it on maybe not Coursera, but certainly other platforms like edX or Udemy. And there's one called Masterclass, I think, which is, you know, the screenwriting with Aaron Sorkin and writing with Malcolm Gladwell. You know, like, this is a wonderful platform and an opportunity that's out there, and now we might just have the time to make use of it.
I think that's absolutely right, and the time then also to spend some time to actually become good at something, and that idea of developing, you know, what educators talk a lot about, this concept of self-efficacy, really improving your skills in something and giving yourself the confidence of saying, yeah, well, I can change a tyre on my car, for example, therefore maybe I could pick up a guitar and have a play with that, and, you know, accepting also, you know, Dan and I talk a lot about mindset, but accepting also that idea that you can be a novice and you've got a bit of time now to be a novice and develop your skills slowly over time.
I think, and taking the pressure off being good, right?
Totally.
One of the main reasons people don't learn guitar is because they want to be good straight away. So an idea, a simple mindset trick is to, rather than focus on getting good, just focus on getting less bad. Because, you know, it only takes a few minutes to get less bad at something, and if you measure it by less bad rather than, you know, how close to Jimi Hendrix am I in my guitar playing,
less likely to be disappointed.
I'd say so. You're less likely to be disappointed. And of course, one way people can keep learning is to subscribe to Cut Through TV.
There you go.
Because
nice segue, Hazard.
Great segue. Great segue. We're going to be putting up different episodes, obviously this week, this whole week. If you're watching this live, there'll be another episode dropping tomorrow. But obviously, it's a bit like Netflix, right? Because if we've dropped them all and you're picking this up, I don't know, in June, July, go back and watch all of them. How good's that? The whole library's there for you. So we're going to be covering off all different kinds of things. Today we spoke about one way to well-being, and tomorrow, in tomorrow's episode, we're going to be talking about the second way, which is connecting and making connections with each other, which is interesting in the time of social distancing.
So keep learning, and we look forward to catching you again tomorrow.
All right, cheers. Thanks a lot.